Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in Hong Kong. Welcome to the inaugural Startup Express International. I am your MC for today, Vivek Mahbubani, and I'll be here with you the whole time. Now, today's session is broadcasted online worldwide and is also co-broadcasted by Radio Television Hong Kong, organized by the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. Startup Express is a startup development program that aims to assist Hong Kong startups in building connections, exploring markets, seeking business and funding partners, and of course, enhancing brand awareness. Now this year, we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of Startup Express. HKTDC has launched its international version. We're going global, everybody. Now, we've received applications from major startup ecosystems around the world and through the nominations of our global partners coming from 10 different countries. So, everyone over here, let's get this started, okay? Because, of course, a week back, we selected 10 global winners whom you'll be meeting today, and you are extremely lucky as well to see them. Also, here today are winners of Startup Express from Hong Kong who were crowned winners here back in June. Now, they will be sharing the stage with our global startups today, and you will be watching these teams and these entrepreneurs from different countries and regions exchange their experiences and insights. Now, you want to get to know a bit more about Startup Express International, so to tell you what, let's watch a 1-minute video and you'll know more about it. Let's go check it out. All right, and there you have it. Now, I know every time I do an event, I like to make sure the energy in the room as well as online is ready for this event. So I want to ask everybody over here, if you love startups, if you're excited about today, can I make some noise, please? Can we hear some claps? Everybody clap, you ready? We're good? Okay, if you're at home, clap as well with us. We're going to have a good time today, okay? Now, I am definitely excited because this is a bit more relaxed. We're going to get to know the different startups, what's their stories, what do they do, what are the challenges, what are the fun things, because I have a lot of interesting questions to ask them. But of course, to get this started, I want to take this opportunity to invite Mr. Stephen Lang, Assistant Executive Director of HKTDC, to come on stage and say a few words for our opening remark. It's over to you, sir. Enjoy.
Hi there, can you hear me? I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Well, friends from around the world, a warm welcome to HKTDC Entrepreneur Day. 2022 marks the 5th anniversary of Startup Express, HKTDC's highly curated development program to assist Hong Kong startups to scale up and expand to the overseas market. So far, 50 startups have already benefited from the program to extend their footprints to global regions and secure investment deals and business partnerships with industry leaders. From there, we hope to further deepen the collaborations between Hong Kong and global startup ecosystems. We have therefore launched the inaugural Startup Express International program this year. This program received support from 19 global partners from Belgium, Germany, Italy, Japan, mainland China, Singapore, South Korea, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States. They have nominated startups from their country to apply for the program, and 10 global winners were selected earlier by our judges. They cover a wide range of industry verticals, including smart city, health tech, metaverse, agriculture tech, marketing tech, and education tech. The 10 global winners will share the stage with our Startup Express Hong Kong winners today, exchanging industry insights as well as sharing about their entrepreneurial journey. I would also like to thank our professional judges from Gobi Partners, Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, Cyberport to select the winners. They are also here today and to share their views on the Hong Kong startup ecosystem later. Last but not least, I'm happy to share that through the staunch support from our supporting organizations, the top 30 startups will be entitled to a series of benefits, ranging from marketing support to incentives offer, helping them to start in Hong Kong and explore the regional market. So I hope you all will enjoy the upcoming discussion between the global and Hong Kong startups. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Mr. Liang. Fantastic over there. As you heard it, it's a time for to be excited. And I like the fact that we're going digital as well. Next year, no more cue cards. We're going digital. This is the future, right? So having said that, I think it's time we definitely want to meet our different startups. So let me take this opportunity to invite our 10 global winners one by one to join us, all right? Check out the screen. They're coming us to say hi. Please welcome from mainland China, we got Veggie Sense. We've also got from mainland China, Inex Med. We've got from Germany, Incontalert. From South Korea, Aeon Company Limited. From Singapore, OTech. We've got from United States, R-Threat Incorporated. From Italy, Contents.com. My friends from Japan, Closer Incorporated. And Turkey, MobiCube. Please make some noise and welcome over there. Hey, everybody, wave. Wave and say hi to all of us so we can see you. Hey. Now, of course, this is Hong Kong, so we have to make sure that we're inviting our friends from Hong Kong as well to join us. So please join me on stage over here, our 8 startups winners from Hong Kong who are here with us today. Let's invite them on stage. First of all, from All Clear. Come on up here. All Clear, Beth Bioinformatics. Give them a round of applause, everybody. These are our winners from Hong Kong. Custonomy, EggLogix, Flow, i2Cool, Mixcare Health, and Pawns.ai. Hey, good to see you all again. I remember you from the competition. Much more chill today, right? No real stress, no real stress. Now, the benefit over here is we are going to take a group photo, but you know what? I'm going to invite more friends as well to join us as well. I want to invite the judges and supporting organizations to come to the stage. Can I please have Clara Hong, Senior Manager, Partnership Development, Ecosystem Development from Cyberport. Give her a round of applause. Come on, join us over here. Can I also get CY Lu, Senior Management, Start Me Up HK, Invest HK. Also Isaac Tse, Senior Manager, Business Development International for Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. And of course, Fred Lee, Executive Director, Gobi Partners, join us on stage. And of course, I've got to get the man himself. Last but not least, please, can I also invite Mr. Stephen Liang to come back up on stage. Come on over here, get a nice position. Let's get closer, everybody. It's okay. No need to be shy. Come. You go in the center over there. Join everybody. Now, we've always said Hong Kong is a fun place, and we'd like to see smiles as well. So the good thing is, with all the new changes of regulations, we are allowed to so everybody take one step to your left. Come closer to me. I want to be part of the picture as well. Come on. All right, everybody, we're all good now. We are allowed to show our full faces, so if we've all shaved, we have beautiful smiles. Take off your mask. Let's take a group photo together, right in front. All right, can I have 2 from the right side? Come join me over here. Yeah, come join me over here. No need to be shy. We're all going to get in the shot over here. By all means, if we're looking fantastic, make sure you get your masks off so we can see your full happy faces. One with just the group over here. Looking forward to a camera over there. Let's go in 3, in 2, 1. Big smiles, man. Finally, we see a full, fantastic, happy smiles and happy faces. Make the most of this. All right, one more in the back over there. We got one more picture over there behind. All right, everybody give me a thumbs up. Everyone overseas as well, say hi. Give me a thumbs up. We're all good. We're all part of this. Startup Express International, this is it. This is what we're all about. We're getting to know each other. There we go. Thank you so much. Well done, everybody. Please take a seat. Enjoy the rest of today's event. Now, the good thing is today's event is international, right? We're all about telling the world how cool Hong Kong is, and it is really a cool place. I was born and raised here. It's a fantastic place to be. You can never get bored of Hong Kong. And I'll tell you one thing that I really like the most about Hong Kong is that, first things first, Hong Kong has the world's largest outdoor escalator, which means you can move without moving. Do you understand how good that is? That is how efficient we are. You could stand still and you still go in places. That's what Hong Kong's about. Just by existing here, you will find that somehow you're progressing as a person in general. But of course, I could talk about all that stuff, all I want to do. But today, I definitely want to invite a few more friends to join us as well. So without further ado, let's begin our first group discussion. Now, the topic for this group is green and agritech, and I've got to invite my friends from overseas. First of all, joining me from mainland China is Veggie Sense and No Carbon. And from Hong Kong, let's get our friends from i2Cool and also All Clear, who will be joining us virtually as well. Can I please have from i2Cool come join us over here? Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, have a seat. We got our friends overseas as well coming over here. Everybody say hi. Can we all say hi to everybody? Yes, we're all here. Good. Now, I'm going to give everybody, to be fair, everyone gets around 1 minute time to introduce themselves. Tell us about what you do, what it's all about, why you too cool, what's happening over here. So let's start with our friends overseas. Can I have a Veggie Sense? Tell us a bit about yourself. You got 1 minute. Let's go for it.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Patrick. I am the CTO of Suzhou Tech Sensor. We are a vertical farm startup founded by a group of tech-savvy scientists and engineers. Our major product is smart mini farm under the brand of VeggieSense. Basically, VeggieSense is a hydroponic auto planting machine that can be placed in every room and harnessed by everybody, even if you have no agriculture knowledge. That way, we are hoping to establish a huge distributed planting network and feed the world in a sustainable way. Thank you.
Fantastic. Right over there. Now you got a bit to know about them a little bit here. But of course, we're coming back to Hong Kong, but we got our friend Tegay over here on stage. On the screen actually from All Clear. Can you tell us a bit more? What's happening? What is All Clear? Why is it All Clear? Tell us a bit. You got 1 minute. Go for it.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Lisa Che and I'm the Chief Brand Officer of a company called Future Salad. We're a Hong Kong-based food tech company. Our products are made by transforming edible salad into a drinkable salad. So the majority of the people in the world don't actually eat enough fruit and veg. This can be due to disliking the taste, they don't know how to cook them properly, or the quality of the vegetables are fairly low. So having a drinkable salad makes it convenient for people on the go. It gives the consumer a boost of nutrients. We taste good, we're affordable, we're convenient, and we have very low food wastage and carbon footprint. So the way we do this is we freeze dry all of our product, and then it can be kept up to 2 years, and there's no need for refrigeration, there's no need for storage. And yeah, it's a really good product. So thank you all for listening.
Well, thank you very much for that. When I was growing up, my mom's simple way to stop food wastage is finish your food. That was it. That was her solution. But I think yours is definitely much more sustainable. Now, over to you. I've always thought I'm too cool. But of course, I am too cool, but you've got I too cool. Can you tell me a bit more? Why is it? What's I too cool all about?
Yeah, i2Cool is a technology startup incubated by the CTU Hong Kong Tech 300 program to commercialize our electricity-free cooling technology. We entered in the laboratory, and it is mainly about cooling materials that can apply on the building envelope, such as the roof and external wall, to reduce the surface temperature and reduce the energy consumption of the air conditioner. And it is found that our material can save 40% energy consumption in the buildings for air cooling, so it is a product for ESG and carbon neutrality.
Oh, so that's actually very good. So now I can turn on the air conditioner with less guilt.
Yeah.
I feel better about myself. Yeah. Well, it is winter time in Hong Kong, so we don't really need the air conditioning that much anymore, but it's nice. It's nice.
Like that's in summer, and the Southeast Asia is all year around summer.
Exactly, you're right. So someone's going to benefit from this. Now, what I like to do with these kinds of chit-chats, I don't want to be too serious about tell me about your brand, what's the journey? We're going to do some of those as well, but I like to throw in a few wacky questions every now and then. Now we're talking about, agriculture, green tech. I want to ask all three of you, how many percent of your time working is spent outdoors compared to indoors, right? You want to be with nature. Are you really being in nature? Are you trying to support nature? So tell me, we'll start from Hong Kong over here. Tell me, how much of your time is spent outside, outdoors?
Half, because I need to go out for site visit to see the site, the construction site that can apply our building. So sometimes I need to go to the rooftop to see if this area is suitable to reply with our product. So half for me, maybe.
Okay, yeah. I'm guessing as long as there's Wi-Fi is always helpful, right?
Yeah.
What about yourselves over there? How long do you spend your time outside versus indoors when you're working in general? Can you share with us? We'll go with...
I think personally...
Go for it, please. You go for it first, yes.
Personally, I spend quite a lot of time outdoors, so I can work from home or I can work in the office. So a lot of the time, if it's a nice day, I like to take my laptop out and work in the garden. So for me, it's probably about half as well. Mostly, I prefer to be outdoors than indoors, but Hong Kong's temperature in the summer is too hot, so mostly winter time I'm outside.
Okay, so 50-52, okay, that's a good sign. Startups like to be flexible as well.
Yeah.
What about my friends from Veggie Sense? What about you? How much of your time is indoors versus outdoors?
In general, most of the time are spending indoors. I only go out when I was running, maybe 80 or 90% of my time occurred indoors. So that's perfect match the statistics of the general time of the city people, they spend indoors.
Well, there you go. It just proves to you that it doesn't matter if you like indoors, outdoors, wherever you like to work, as long as you can get the job done, that's all that matters. Now, speaking of the job done, I'm always curious about why did you choose this field? Can I go with veggie sensors? Why this field? There's so many opportunities, so many different problems we can solve. Why particular the greenery and this kind of field? Tell me more about that.
Yes, I have been thinking this idea for a couple of years. I am IT guys. Expertise is applied sensors and IoT technology in traditional industries, but I think there are huge opportunities in agriculture. But it was in this March, I happened to be in Shanghai. I experienced the great lockdown. At the time, I knew exactly how difficult to get vegetables. So I made a choice. I decided that this is something I could do. I decided to bring medicines into reality, and I also determined to focus on dedicate my efforts for the next 10 years in medicines.
So it really was a recent problem that made you realize that there's an issue, a potential issue that you actually were facing as well. I mean, I try to grow vegetables at home, but the only thing I can grow is mold and dust. So I'm failing over there. I could definitely use your help. What about all clear?
That's true for everybody. That's true for everybody. So the idea is of medicines is to let everybody with zero agricultural knowledge can grow your plants. So it's as easy as using an automatic washing machine. So that's our advantage, the most advantage compared to other products of the year.
So being able to grow stuff at home conveniently, I think that's the goal, and I definitely want to talk to you because I am completely failing at this. Like I can grow stuff, but you can't eat it at all. I can tell you that. What about,
yes.
Yeah. What about all clear? Why did you go in this field? What attracted you towards it?
So for me, my background is nursing. So I've always had a passion for helping people. And when COVID started, I thought, what is the most important thing in life? And that's health. So when COVID started, people who were young and fit, they were passing away from something that we never knew anything of the year before. So for me, at this point, I realised that I need to make sure that I'm the healthiest possible version of myself. And how could I do this to help other people? So as a nurse, and one day I can help 1, 2, 3 patients. But as a food tech company, we can help a lot of people over an extensive range of land. We can serve the full world, basically, and help a lot of people get enough nutrients. So I think that is really, really important to our health.
Well, very true. I mean, in a world where we love taking selfies, you don't definitely want to look good and feel good as well. So I think that's something we'll take a lot of care about as well. Now, what about you? Did you one day get your electricity bill and say, this is ridiculous, I got to solve this problem?
Yeah.
What caused you to go into this?
Yeah, as you know, because of the global warming and climate change in the recent years, our ambient temperature is increasing. So we need to spend a lot of energy in air cooling each year to improve our thermal comfort. So based on the data from the EMSD, the government department, Hong Kong has 90% of electricity was consumed by buildings. And within that, 30% of which is consumed by air conditioners. If we can have a technology to reduce the energy consumption of the air conditioners, it will be the most effective way to reduce the overall energy cost of the city. So that's why we want to have the technology for air cooling, so we choose this direction.
I think that's very important as well. I mean, every month I get my electricity bill and I'm like, I got to do something. This is not right. You know, I definitely want to change this up. Now, let's go back to one of these silly questions that I like to ask as well. Now, what if, okay, the situation is this. What would you do if your girl or boyfriend left you for your co-founder or teammate? Do you stay with them? Do you not stay with them? What happened? Let's say, you know, you're girlfriend one day and they're like, hold on a second, what happened? They're now with your teammate. Do you stay together? Do you start a startup? What happens? I'll ask you, if you're in this situation, do you turn on the aircon? Do you turn on the heater? What's going on?
I haven't imagined that because our co-founders are professors, which are much elder than...
They love too, you know. I mean, they need love too. I mean, we don't discriminate.
Yeah, so I don't think this will happen. Maybe you can ask our Elkia or another friend.
All right, Elkia, let's go with all clear. Let's just say same situation. One day your partner says, hey, I'm with him, I'm with her. What would you do? Would you stay in the same team professionally, or would you say, okay, we got to put some boundaries on? How would you solve that?
I think there would be some boundaries put on, but I believe in our cause enough to carry on with our project.
Very true. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really getting the job done.
So I think that comes.
I think I agree with that as well. I mean, at the end of the day, you have a mission you want to do. We can put our feelings aside for a moment for the greater cause as well. What about you, Veggie Sense? Imagine one day you wake up and your lover says, hey, you know what? I love what you're doing, but I love that person more. What would you do? Would you stay on the project or would you change your mind?
As a founder of a startup, I will stick in what I'm doing. So it really doesn't matter. I think in a startup, a teammate are kind of soulmates. So it really doesn't matter what in reality your relationship is. As long as you have the same idea, same goal, you're both agreed with each other. That's okay.
Very smart. So you can see all the startups, you have a mission that's mission-based, and you're not going to get anything to distract you. You know what I would do? I would go out with their ex-girlfriend. I'd be like, I'm going to go with your ex now. I'll get back at you. So I'll do something like that. Okay, let's get back to a bit more proper question again. So I want to know that, I mean, every startup, every business idea always has challenges. Can you share with us the most impressive challenge that you had to face one time that you remember that, wow, at that moment you thought it won't happen? So let's go with Veggie Sense. What was the one challenge you faced that you thought, this is the ultimate? If I can solve this, anything is possible. Do you remember that one challenge you could share with us?
A lot. I remember once I had been working for 3 days without sleeping at all to still try to solve a engineering problem. So that's one of them. Because I'm a technical guy, so all the challenges I'm facing technology basis. So I don't really have other problem that confusing me.
Okay, fair enough. So even after like a struggling, painful 3 days of not enough sleep, you thought, I'm going to somehow solve this. And you did, and you realized, okay, you know what? Sleep is overrated. I don't need this much as more, right? I like that. What about all clear? Do you have one challenge you could share with us? Because I'm sure a lot of people who are thinking about starting up some idea, they're worried, will I have a challenge that I can't face? Is it normal that I have these things? What about you? Do you remember one challenge that you faced that really like blew you away?
So for us, our challenge is the same every time we bring out a new product. So you need to make this salad drink tasty and convenient. So if people don't like the taste, they won't buy your product again. So every time we make a new product, we have to do a mass tasting, of our product. So at the moment, we're trying out kids, and it's basically give everyone in the office the product to try, and then we kind of alter the formula to depend on what people like to taste. So I think that's an ongoing issue for us, but that's probably one of our biggest issues.
I think that's a really cool tagline, saving the world while tasting great. That'll be a really good one as well. So
yes.
I think that's definitely one of the problems is that no matter how good your solution is, we got to enjoy it as well. And if you don't, no one's going to keep it up over there. What about you over here? Like, what was that challenge that really, you thought, oh, this is the one I've got to deal with?
Yeah. It is about the product because our product is like a paint to apply on the roof and external wall. But for some building owners, they have a lot of windows because, Hong Kong has a lot of office building that has a high window to wall ratio that they want to apply the cooling materials on a window or sky roof. And because of the painting property, if we apply the paint on the windows, it may affect the vision. I mean, the visible effects from indoor to outdoor. So that's why we need to modify our product to upgrade it. So that's why now we have a second generation of the cooling materials, which is like a film to just can apply on the windows very easily. This is also a story to us that we couldn't just focus on our own field, not just focus on the research, but we need to hear from the market. I mean, the requirement or the list of our client. And this make our research more getting close to the ground, and we can fine-tune our research based on the requirement from the society. I think this is a very good experience for us to fine-tune our research and make the product better.
Well, that's very important as well. It's always that challenge of how can I get it better and better and better. It's no perfect at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
All right, we have a minute left, so I want to go back to my silly questions. Okay, this is it. You've had a long day, you're tired, you're exhausted, and you only have 3 options, okay? You can either sit and watch a 3-hour-long movie, or you can watch 3 hours worth of random videos on YouTube, or you can watch 3 hours of non-stop cat videos, okay? These are the only options you have. After a long day, you're exhausted, but you must complete all 3 hours. You cannot stop halfway. So either 3-hour movie, 3-hour random online whatever YouTube videos, or 3 hours of non-stop cute cat videos. What do you go? I too cool. Which one is it?
Maybe movie because I can choose a topic I like. Because the YouTube random I couldn't choose, right?
Yeah.
So I will choose the movie.
Okay. What about All Clear? What's your choice?
I would probably pick the cat videos because I probably spend half my day scrolling through Instagram and watching cat and dog videos anyway already.
Okay, so you're already doing that. What about you, Veggie Sense? What's your choice? Movie, a random video, or cat videos?
I would choose movie for sure, because I have cat in house. But I seldom more play with him. For short video, I think after 3 hours of watching the short videos, I will more exhausted. So movie is the only way to let me relax.
That is true. Sometimes I could just sit there watching videos and I'm more tired than I started. Well, there we go. That is our time. So again, one more time to our participants sharing with us all about the future of green and agritech. Come on, Zach, let them hear some noise. Make some noise. Clap your hand. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much. Please enjoy the rest of the show and enjoy the rest of the sharing. You can get off of it. No problem. Okay, so here comes a little fun fact about Hong Kong. Now, we're talking about green and agri-tech, and I'll tell you something. Did you know that 40% of Hong Kong is actually made up of country parks and nature reserves? That means 50% of, like, pretty much half of Hong Kong is like nothing but green color. That means in 5 minutes' time, you could go from looking at a wall to looking at a tree. All right, it's as simple as that. So there's no excuse of like, oh, I feel I'm so stuck in the concrete jungle. No, you're 5 minutes away from an actual jungle, people. That's the benefit of Hong Kong, is that in one morning, you can go for your hike, you can go for your breakfast, you can come back and also sit in your office and get a job done before lunchtime. We're super efficient, we're super compact, but we're always next door to something fun as well. Having said that, let's move on to our next topic of today, which is all about health tech. Now, for this one, I'd like to invite my friends from overseas to join us. From mainland China, we have InexMed. From Germany, we have Incont Alert, and from South Korea, Aeon Company Limited. Now from Hong Kong, I have Beth Bion Informatics, Egglogics, and Mixed Care Health. Come join us on stage. Give them a round of applause, everybody. Let's get to know more about health tech in today's world. Have a seat, get comfortable, as you like. Yeah, oh yeah, swap around. Yeah, we have designated seats just for you. The lighting, everything was measured perfectly for that. Okay, now, real simple. This is all about health tech, and I'm going to allow you to choose. Do you want the fun question or do you want the proper question? Who wants the by round of vote? If you want the fun question, raise your hand. Okay, give me the fun question. I've done the boring questions, all right? Okay, so this one is very simple. This is asking you after basically during lunchtime, all right? If you have your meal, but if you have dessert first, it's cheaper. But if you have dessert last, it's the same price. Do you decide to go have sweet first and then have your meal? Or do you say, you know what, I'm a proper person. My mom taught me eat the healthy food first, then have your sugar. What do you go for? Dessert first for cheaper price or follow the healthier way? What do you go with? What's your choice?
Dessert. Yeah.
Okay, straight up, forget the health and let's go for the
No,
good.
my daughter loves dessert. So make sure he's quiet, then I can have the proper meal.
Very smart. Make sure she's satisfied, then you get satisfied. What about you? Dessert first or you go for proper meal?
I'll go with dessert first as well.
Okay, I like that. Dessert first as well. Okay. What about you? Dessert first or proper?
I'll go the proper way.
Proper way. Oh.
Because after dessert, probably I don't want to eat the meal anymore.
That's very true. You get full already. You're looking at your vegetables like, not today, another day. What about my friends from mainland China, InexMed? What would you go first? Dessert first or the proper meal as it's the healthy way?
Well, I would prefer the proper meal first.
Okay, that's good. We're working on the correct way for health tech, okay? Now, my friend from Germany as well, what's your choice? Dessert or proper meal first to start off?
Dessert first. First things first.
So far, so good. Seems desserts to be in the lead. Now, finally, my friend from South Korea, from Aeon Company Limited, you have a choice. Is it dessert first or proper meal? What are you choosing today?
My choice is proper meal.
Proper meal. Okay, so we're half and half. Okay, there we go. It turns out.
I don't wanna make the proper step. Then I have a meal for my health. So health is a very important thing for me.
Fair enough. I mean, you don't want to ruin your appetite. Maybe the real food, the proper meal is actually tasty in itself already. Fair enough. I mean, I never said you what you're going to eat. Maybe it's a fantastic, 5-star Michelin star kind of meal, and the dessert is maybe just a sundae from McDonald's. Who knows, right? Okay. But doesn't matter. The point is, let's go back to the proper question now. All right. So we're talking about health tech, and I definitely want to know, what are the trends of this industry? What's happening now? I know we all have, wearables telling you how your heartbeat is. My wearable always tells me I'm unhealthy, and I've put it aside. I'm like, you're not my friend anymore. So what's the trends happening over here? Can I start from the middle over here? What's the trend? What's the industry trend you can share with us with health tech? What's going on? What's the hottest thing?
Well, I think the idea of health tech right now is not just science anymore. It's a mix of different disciplines, including big data, blockchain. So it's not just a standalone discipline. So it's getting more challenging and interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so in a way, it's no longer just like the one dimension of like, are you healthy, are you not? It's looking at much more data-based information. We want to know, why are people doing this? What's the typical habits we have? What about you? What are you noticing in the industry that's the biggest trend?
I think particularly after COVID, we see a lot of investors finally paying more attention to the biotech technologies, and a lot of ventures funds and investment organizations join the field as well. So there's a noticeably increased amount of competitors in the field now. So the competitor is very stiff, and we definitely will have to differentiate our product or technology more in order to win the competition, I think.
Very fair. I think that competition in one way is good because it forces you to improve. On the other hand, you're like, hold on, well, not just yet. Let me get really good, then come and compete with me, right? Fair enough. I'm going to jump over to my friend in Germany. What is the trend over there? What are you noticing in your world in the health tech industry? What's the latest thing that you're seeing?
I can just totally agree. Since all the COVID stuff that has been there in the last years, there's now a huge rise in biotech and life science startups, and also there's a huge rise in medtech, so in health wearables, like ours is. And that's on the one side, it's good because a lot of investors want to give money to this sphere, but on the other hand, it's also a huge competition, obviously. So that's kind of the trends that we can see from the last 2 years, and they have a good thing and they also have a bad thing.
Okay, so as we're seeing as well, the competition's growing, which is a good and a bad thing in a way, but it's how you want to play the game as well. What about my friends from mainland China, from InXMed? What's the trend that you're seeing around your region as well? What's happening over there that you think is the hottest thing that's happening?
Well, I think that, because my company is working in the biopharmaceutical drug innovation sector in pharmaceutical industry. So I think the true challenge is that, you have to do the real innovation, and also you can compete at the worldwide stage. And that part, I think, it represents the next trend, especially for the biotech in Greater China.
All right, so it's basically more about the innovation. People are seeking for something new, right? Something that is never seen before that makes you go, okay, that's a different way to approach the same problem. Okay, so the trend is all about innovation. What about in South Korea? Could you tell me what's the trend in the industry over there?
My company, Aeon, is a startup company manufacturing bioceramic material and dedicated semiconductor for the dental purpose and non-dental purpose.
So could you get a little bit closer to your mic? We're having a little trouble hearing you clearly.
The dental can you hear me?
Yeah, just a little bit closer to your mic so we can hear you. It's a little bit blurry over there. So just a bit closer to your mic that we can hear you.
Okay.
Clear.
Okay, the dental side, the current trend looks, the people try to move to the digitalization. So there are so many dental labs around the world, 9,000 dental labs in Korea, multiple 100,000 in China, same in the US and Europe, but they all, they're having the same manufacturing process for the dental prosthetic, crown, inlay, bridge, whatever. But they wanna trying to get out of current production process, manual or milling machine, right? So because it costs a lot, it's every year the manufacturer and the material provider increase their price. So that they want to go to they want to transform to the digitalization in order to reduce the production cost and reduce the labor cost. and then that's the trend what I have observed.
So it's more about the digitization, right? As of course, there's so much data, so much information, and also the way the things are changing as well. So that's the trend you're seeing, digitization. Now, let's move on over here. What about yourself? What are you noticing the trends that are happening? Like you're based in Hong Kong, the whole world. What are you noticing?
I think, yeah, after COVID, people suffer like mental disease, like not just physical. I think mental is another one thing, especially to employees, like financial wellness, like cause them a lot of stress. So I think mental, it's something kind of ignored it. So I think not just like diet, fitness, beauty, I think mental is another thing, yeah.
That's very true. I think COVID has definitely made us realize that how much mental well-being affects you physically as well, right? Being stuck in one place, not talking to your friends, or just simply being, looking at a wall all day long. Now, let's go back to a little bit fun thing. And this one, though, I'm going to switch it up. I'm not going to ask you those quirky questions. I'm actually going to let you do something that's more fun for yourself is, you know what? Let us know what you do. We've got to know you a bit more from your dessert and food choices. But what exactly do you do in general in your business, in your industry as well? So I want to start with our friends in mainland China. Can you tell us in a short 30-second pitch, what is it that you do? What are you most proud of? Can you let us know what one thing you wanted the whole world to know about you? My friends from mainland China, InXmed, could you let us know in 30 seconds, what's that thing you do?
Well, the drug resistance, especially for the cancer treatment, is a huge issue. Majority of the patients die from it. So our main focus is to tackle on that part. And our molecules, our asset already gained the fast track designation from US FDA, and also we have received the breakthrough designation drug from China FDA. So in that sense, our drug have generated a great efficacy to really resolve the unmet medical needs of the cancer patient. That's what we are really proud of, and that's what we're going to achieve more and more in future. Thank you.
Okay, that's fantastic. It's basically saving people from east all the way to west as well. That's what you're proud of. That's good to know.
Yes.
What about my friends from Germany? What's that one thing you're proud of? Let us know what you do as well. You got around a minute. Let us know what you want to share with us.
Well, people suffering from incontinence have the problem that they lose urine in an unplanned or uncontrolled manner. On the other hand, they also, for example, if we think about paraplegic persons, they suffer from the problem that the bladder distends, overfills in a way, and uses damage to the kidneys. To overcome this problem, that these people have a missing sensation of their bladder, we developed InconAlert, which you can probably see here, which is a wearable device that can be worn 2 fingers above the pubic bone, and from there it measures the filling level of the bladder, digitalizes this information, and gives out an alert before a critical level is reached.
Oh, wow, okay. And it's looking good as well, trying to save lives and looking good. I like that part of it as well. What about my friend from South Korea, Aeon Company Limited? What's that one thing you've done that you're most proud of, you want the rest of the world to know as well?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, there are so many ventilators around the world. They are using the same production process. They mostly use the solid zirconia plug and then the milling machine. So the milling machine is generating a lot of dust and noise, which is very harmful for the worker in there. So we have developed a liquid zirconia and the dedicated zirconia. So
really sorry, I'm going to have to ask you once again. We're having trouble hearing you clearly. Are you able to get closer to your mic or maybe take the earbud and speak closer to it? That might help because we're having a little trouble hearing you clearly.
Okay. So Aeon is manufacturing liquid zirconia material and the dedicated 3D printer, which can be transformed the production process from the milling machine of zirconia block to the 3D printing the crown in an accurate and manner. So, and also our product can help the dental lab and dental clinic save their production cost when they have order from the patient or dentist. So this is really, everyone knows the 3D printer can print the crown, more accurately and timely manner, but they couldn't do that because there is no liquid zirconia material so far. So Aeon has developed a liquid zirconia.
I'm really sorry, we're still struggling. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get someone who's good at lip reading and try to tell us what's going on over there because we're really having trouble trying to hear you clearly. But don't worry about it. We'll definitely get the information out for everybody to see as well. So let's move on real quick to our friends in Hong Kong as well. Let us know that one thing you're proudest of. We're going to go with Mixed Carrot Health over here. Tell us, what's the one thing you're proudest of? share with the rest of the world.
We're solving accessibility for people who cannot have access to the personalized health and wellness services. So we connect insurance company, vendors, and consumers and enterprise to help improve the accessibility to more personalized health and wellness services, and also digitalize the whole journey. Yeah.
Okay, that's another good progress in the whole industry. What about yourself in the middle? Tell us, what's proud of?
Yeah, I'm an egg guy working on the eggs of females. So our technology is to improve the quality of life for women undergoing IVF, in vitro fertilization treatment. So we have two technology. The first one is egg boost. It should increase the usable eggs in the IVF by 3 times. The second one is egg check. It is a gene-based egg quality assessment, give a better idea about the quality of the eggs for the IVF, so that the doctor and the subject have a better decision to move with that decision in IVF process.
Okay, so basically focusing more on the IVF technology and helping the rest of the world fulfill their dreams as well as parents as well. Now, moving over here to Beth Bioinformatics, could you tell us that one thing you're proudest of?
We develop innovative bioinformatics solutions to empower the development of vaccines for pharmaceutical companies, and our most signature technology is the accurate prediction of virus evolution. This technology has been applied in influenza viruses, and we've been getting very good results from animal validation experiments. And we're actually applying the technology to predict the future mutations for SARS-CoV-2 virus as well. And we could now accurately predict its mutations up to 2 months ahead.
Wow, that's very impressive. I mean, we can see health tech range is really diverse over here, you know, all the way from eggs to personal appearances and stuff like that. Now, let's go back to a little bit more serious question, all right? Now, I'd like to know one thing is that everybody's all about growing and expanding and getting bigger and better. Do you have any particular expansion plans you're hoping that maybe you can connect with other startups, the Startup Express people as well, to maybe do something together? Any kind of plans to expand globally, getting out of your comfort zone? We're going to start from Hong Kong and go right back to you over there. Any expansion plans you want to share with us that you think you could take advantage of Startup Express?
Currently, we're working with pharmaceutical companies in mainland China. So after Startup Express, we're thinking about, we actually get in contact or get to know more about the other kind of pharmaceutical companies or vaccine companies in the Asian region, such as in Malaysia or even in like India, Singapore. There's a lot of collaboration opportunities for us. And so that's maybe where we're looking for next.
So heading out around Asian region to kind of expand over there. What about yourself from EggLogics?
Yeah, we are trying to work with potential partners in the Greater Bay Area because in China, the women are not allowed to have the social egg freezing, for example. So we try to channel this customer from the mainland China to Hong Kong to take our technology. And the second objective is to have the Asia-Pacific region collaboration like Malaysia to adopt our technology.
Okay, that's also very important. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about getting people connected to the solution one way or another as well. What about yourself, Mixed Care Health? Let us know, what is the expansion plans?
Yeah, I just came back from Korea, so we are working with insurance company in Korea, expanding there. So hopefully our product will be there very soon. And also GBA, yeah. Hopefully.
All right, hopefully doing the world tour in Korea is one of them as well, right? Let's go up to mainland China, Index Med. What's that expansion plan you want us to know about that you're working on right now?
Open innovation is our strategy. So we're really open to all the kind of collaboration. For example, we have established a collaboration, global collaboration with Merck, with Roche. So I think more and more collaboration will come. And also, we believe the combination therapy is the future for cancer treatment. So that's what we do. First, the second thing is that, myself, I personally studied in Hong Kong before, so I have really some deep feeling about Hong Kong. So probably in future, I will expand my footprint into Hong Kong and establish some real R&D facility there, and hope to, to know more people to let's foster the whole innovation ecosystem together. Thank you.
Well, that's what the whole Startup Express ecosystem and family is about. It's about connecting and seeing how you can expand and work and synergize as well. So definitely come on down here. R&D can be your friend as well. You're in Hong Kong. What about, let's fly over to Germany as well from Incont Alert. What's that expansion plan or idea you have in mind you want to achieve?
We will be certified in Germany and the European Union in the next year. as a following step, we will apply for the certifications in Hong Kong, since also we have a Hong Kong background. Since our story started in 2017 at a international pitch competition at the HKUST. So we have a strong relation to especially Hong Kong, which is why we thrive to expand in about 2024.
Okay, that's also good. I like that you're also thinking about Hong Kong as well. Now we're going to give again. In startups, it's always a thing about never giving up, somehow finding a solution. When A doesn't work, try B. When B doesn't work, try C. We're going to go fly back to Korea. We'll give it one quick chance. Let's see if technology is our friend today. Do you have the one little expansion plan and idea in your head you want to share with us? I'm going to try my best to hear every word you're saying. So tell me, what's that expansion thing that you want to talk about? Can we do it? Oh, I don't know. That doesn't matter. You know what? We're gonna connect with you later on as well. Let's go back to our final question. We have around 1 minute left, real quick. If you had to make a hashtag for your brand or company, right? What would be the hashtag you'd rather choose? Would it be A, health tech, or B, be healthy, or C, me so healthy? All right. Would you want to use that? Which hashtag do you prefer? Or D is your choice. What's your favorite hashtag you like to use for any of your products? What would you use on the internet? Let's go. Let's mix it up. Mixed care health. Let's try with you first.
We have a slogan: complete your health.
Okay.
This
so hashtag complete your health.
That's it.
That's nice. I like that so much. Let's fly up to mainland China. InXmed. What's the hashtag you want people to use when they talk about your product?
Well, we really tackle the unmet medical needs and solve the problem.
So hashtag solve the problem. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's go to Egg-Logics. Is there a hashtag you definitely feel it represents you?
Well, as I told you, I'm an egg guy. We start with egg, and we call excellent.
Oh, look at this. The EGG-cellent. Nice. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's fly over to Germany. The hashtag you want people to use when they're talking about you.
Hashtag regain control again.
Hashtag regain control again. That's powerful. I like that one over here. Let's go back to Beth Bioinformatics. Hashtag, what's it going to be?
Hashtag vaccine. So when people talk about vaccine, they will think of us also.
Nice. Just going straight to the point, right? And for our friend in Korea, I'm going to give you a hashtag. Hashtag, I'll talk to you later. Don't worry about it. All right. So one more time, thank them as well for sharing as well. That was all about health tech.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. Enjoy the rest of today. Now, again, I always talk about, health tech, being healthy. We're always talking about, enjoying and being healthy. And as you said, it's not just physical, it's mental as well. So I'll tell you one little fun fact about Hong Kong. Did you know that Hong Kong has the world's highest bar and swimming pool? That is right. At the Ritz-Carlton and ICC. That means you could be healthy, sitting over there on the pool side, looking at the fantastic view, and also feeling great. So that's physical and mental well-being as well. So I'm telling you, come to Hong Kong. There's so many good things waiting for you. You definitely want to enjoy this. Okay, having said that, now I'm going to switch things up. I've been playing around, talking to startups, having a good time. Hashtag this, what's your favorite video? I get it, But let's get a bit more serious. Let's, really talk about the serious stuff. So I'm going to go to a different area as well. We're going to shift gears a little bit because this time I want to invite our judges and representatives from Start Me Up HK who are here to join us, and they will come on stage to share with us a bit more about launching a business in Hong Kong. So first of all, I'd like to invite onto the stage Clara Hong, Senior Manager, Partnership Development, Ecosystem Development, Cyberport. Please come join me on stage. Give her a round of applause. Let her come up over here. I'd also like to invite Isaac Tse, Senior Manager, Business Development International for HKSTP, CY Lu, Senior Manager, Start Me Up HK, Invest HK, and Fred Lee, Executive Director, Gobi Partners, to please join me on stage and tell us how we can develop our businesses in Hong Kong. Take a seat, get comfortable. Now, to be fair, I want to definitely make sure everybody knows exactly what you're all about. So I'm going to allow each of you around 2 to 3 minutes to tell us, what it is you do, why we want to hear about it, and what can you help us with as well. So we're going to start with, actually, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go from CY Lu, from Senior Manager, Start Me Up HK, Invest HK. Please tell us all about what you do. You got a few minutes. Go for it.
So hi everyone, this is CY from Start Me Up Hong Kong. It's a startup team, dedicated startup team by Invest Hong Kong. And Invest Hong Kong is a Hong Kong government department. What we do is that we attract foreign direct investments to Hong Kong. And besides our headquarters in Hong Kong, we have 33 offices around the globe. What we do is that we want to make sure all of you out there in the world, if you want to know more about Hong Kong, how to come to Hong Kong, you can definitely find one of our colleagues there. And for our team, we support startups. So whether you are a startup company, you want to come to Hong Kong to set up and expand, or you are a foreigner in Hong Kong, you want to start your business and expand, or you are a Hong Kong returnee, you grow up overseas but you don't know much about Hong Kong. When you're back to Hong Kong, you want us to tell you more about it, get you connections. That's what we do. We also organize events, and so we also like to party. Yeah, so that's what we do. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Definitely someone you want to connect with when you're expanding over here in Hong Kong. I'm going to go over to Clara. Clara, could you tell us a bit more about, what it is you do? Share with everybody, please.
Okay, thank you. As Clara is from Cyberport, I'm in partnership development team, ecosystem development. I think CY and also Fred and also ISET also is our good partners, also Hong Kong TDC. Cyberport is the digital hub in Hong Kong. We are nurseries, startups. Actually, I will not say this support. I think startup is our partners. So that I'm in the partnership team. We help want to work together with the startup to help them to grow, to expand the overseas, and also we welcome the overseas startups to come to Hong Kong, land to Hong Kong, expand through Hong Kong to expand to the Southeast Asia, GBA. I'm in partnership team so that we will have a lot of the networks, the enterprise, technology partners, professional service, and also investor. We hope the all-rounded to support all the startups to expand their business, to drive the adoption. And also, we also help the enterprise to transform, because I think the digital transformation now is a trend for all the enterprise. And so that I hope our partnership is long-term and support the Hong Kong ecosystem to growth.
Fantastic. So I'm going to move over to Isaac over here. Could you tell us a bit more, what it is, Hong Kong Science Technology Park? How can they help with the business development in Hong Kong, please?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think Clara already covered a lot, since we are also a technology park with very similar nature to Cyberport, which we support the ecosystem growth together for the better good of Hong Kong. And we're not only an office space. Of course, we got a lot of office spaces here for startup to be based in Hong Kong. But we're also an enabler. We got a huge network, a lot of support, both monetary one and those business support, R&D support, etc. So we want to act as an ecosystem enabler, like when an overseas startup, they come to Hong Kong and they don't know where to kickstart. They need support on, say, look for partners, do R&D, get funding, or simply just to know about the market and know people in the ecosystem. We are here to help them, and we're very happy to chat with them. And we also got a lot of in-house programs like incubation, acceleration, etc. So we're also more like a very typical incubator in Hong Kong. And similar to everyone here, we also see our park startup company success as our success. So all our efforts are devoted to help our park companies grow. So, hope when some overseas companies, they come to Hong Kong, don't know who to talk to, they could try to have a chat with us and know more about the Hong Kong market.
Fantastic. I mean, whatever it is, you can tell people, I went to a park to talk business, right, when you go over there. So let's go over to Fred. Could you tell us a bit more? How can businesses, when they come to Hong Kong to develop, how can you help out as well?
Yeah, thank you, Hong Kong TDC. This is Fred Lee from Gobi Partners. I'm Executive Director of Gobi Partners. So we are a VC platform for 20 years already. We started from Shanghai. Now we have 15 offices across the Asia major city. So Hong Kong being one of the major headquarters, and also KL is our dual headquarters covering Southeast Asia. So we are GBA fund, so that means we invest the Greater Bay Area, the 9 + 2, 11 cities. So we are one of the, I would say one of the small players in the ecosystem, but we work very closely with Invest Hong Kong, Cyberport, and also Hong Kong Science Park. And so far, we have invested 70 plus Hong Kong companies already, 98% with the Hong Kong X. And across the Asia, we invest over 300 companies already. So we hopefully to grow more super unicorn in Hong Kong and also to the Greater Bay Area. And we hope all the Hong Kong companies can be in a very reputable international companies.
Thank you very much. So now you know our four guests over here, what they can do to help you out. So let's get into the real topic. So a lot of times people want to know more about Hong Kong, the attributes, why is this the place you want to be. Can I have basically think about 3 attributes or 3 words you would use to explain the ecosystem in Hong Kong? I'll tell you what my 3 are. In Hong Kong, we have a phrase called Fai Lang Zhang, which is basically, fast, beautiful, and awesome, right? So I always think about that way to describe Hong Kong. It's very efficient. We're always efficient. We'll get the job done today before you even finish your sentence. That's about the efficiency here. It's also beautiful because if you walk around the city, it's always inspiring. The lights is great. You have the the sea line. You have a lot of the ferries and everything. Fantastic thing. You cannot get tired of looking at stuff. And of course, awesome because the people we have over here, we will go all out. You know, we will not stop until the job is done. So that's what I think is the ecosystem of Hong Kong. It's really efficient. It's always inspiring, and the people is just fun to work with. Can you share with us maybe 3 attributes or 3 words you use to describe the ecosystem? I'm going to go with the same order from Siwa Lu. Could you tell us the 3 words you would choose?
I would choose international, diversified, and resilient.
Ah, there we go. And you're allowed to repeat because if sometimes the word is correct, it's correct. So let's go over to Clara. Could you tell me, what are the 3 words?
Okay, I will use 3P. Pace, passionate, and persistent.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I like that. That's very good. I like that one as well. What about Isaac? What is the words that you'd use to explain?
Well, I would choose applicable, practical, and inspiring.
Okay, there we go. Also, you're going with me with the inspiring. I like that one as well. So, Fred, what are the 3 words that you think of in the Hong Kong ecosystem?
Yeah, I would say emerging, hidden gem, and also explosive.
Ah, so there you go. It is an exciting thing. You hear words like explosive, about pace. Of course, it's about movement. It's about action. When you come to Hong Kong, I think the job will get done one way or another. And that's what I like about this place, is that somehow, somewhere, you'll talk to someone and they'll say, this is how you do it. Let's get it done today. You know, that's what it's all about. So let's move on to the next question. I want to know, we're talking about, you know, expanding to different parts and not just Hong Kong, even the GBA as well. What are the biggest opportunities that are lying ahead in the Greater Bay Area? Could you share with us? Let's go with actually Fred. Could you tell us, like, Greater Bay Area, what are the things that we can definitely look forward to?
Actually, in Hong Kong, we are being one of the central hub in the Greater Bay Area, and we have a lot of resources. Like when you go to Science Park, Cyberport, or you go to the Super Connected Invest Hong Kong, HKTDC, you can get a lot of resources. That means if you have great idea, you have the great expertise, you are professional enough. I don't think it's so difficult to work in Hong Kong. And basically, we may be one of the easiest city to make sure your business being successful. So that's number one. We are very resourceful. Number 2, we are just one step nearby the mainland China market, so you have the very, very close information. And a lot of other countries, they do want to have this kind of advantage very much. So in Hong Kong, you can just ride on it in a step. This is very important. And we have very good people mix. People are very international. We have a friend from mainland China. We have friends from a lot of different kind of cities. So in terms of talent acquisition and also the cultural exchange is something that's very unique in the international market. That's why as Gobi partners, we are the VC. We are very bullish in the Hong Kong market and Greater Bay Area because that's the unique advantage we find there is something unfound in other countries. And in the upcoming 5 years and a decade, we are very bullish and we are planning to invest more than $100 million in the region. So that's why we are working so hard. I believe a lot of startups sitting here today also met our team or talking to us already. So yeah, we hope that we are being one very small but supportive investor in the region.
Well, I can definitely tell you our audience, from whether it's local Hong Kong or international, are hearing you say things and getting excited about how you're so bullish about the market as well. So they will think, okay, they're feeling good, I'm feeling good as well. That's really important as well, to have a partnership that both are optimistic about the future. So I'm going to go to Clara. Could you tell us, you know, the opportunities in the Greater Bay Area? People talk about it all the time, and it's basically, it's a new world we're trying to go into. Could you tell us a bit more what's lying ahead over there?
I think the GBA, I think according to the central government, also emphasized that technology innovation is the primary growth, the driver of the growth of the government for the China. And also, according to Hong Kong, the policy address also say that technology innovation also is a key areas. So that I think with the government, the GBA, the funding support, I think this is a really good opportunity for the overseas startups, or even Hong Kong startups to go to GBA. And then Hong Kong is really a good channel to bridge the gap versus Hong Kong, through Hong Kong to GBA, and also from GBA to overseas. So that I think according with this support, I think this is a good chance to expand with the government supports from both sides, from mainland or Hong Kong. Both is just announced that it is the primary driver.
I think it's really important. If you have national support, it just makes everything even smoother, much easier to go. Let's go with Isaac. Could you tell me, GBA, is there something we should be excited about?
Yeah, well, definitely. We actually have a slogan that we always say when we try to promote Hong Kong and GBA collaborations. We call it expand out and attract in two ways. So using Hong Kong using Hong Kong's unique position, both geographically and well business-wise, I'd say well it would be very good for both Chinese companies and well overseas companies to be gathered here to test out the market and to know each other. Well, it might be quite difficult for say a European company or an American company to directly tap into the Chinese market. And it is also difficult, certainly, for a Chinese leading companies to well go global. So we are a perfect platform for people to test out how it's like if their solutions go to other countries so they could refine it, try to do some necessary adjustments before they really tap into that market. And well, Hong Kong, with the unique position, we got a lot of well international companies gathered here. So when people want to tap into Greater Bay Area, they could first come to Hong Kong, talk to those Chinese people in Hong Kong, those companies, to see how it's like, and vice versa. Well, also, why we always talk about Greater Bay Area instead of China market is also partly because those Greater Bay Area cities are close to us. So, well, culturally, geographically, we're very close to each other. And it would be much easier for us to know about the mutual market there. Say, for example, we also have a new park campus right next to the border. We call it our Shenzhen branch, and it will be ready in early next year. So we hope with these kind of facilities right next to the border, it can also, well, facilitate more, say, well, talents or solutions or ideas to well come to this unique place where it can be easily tap into both Chinese and Hong Kong markets. So, well, this is how we see.
Well, that's a very good slogan, expand out and attract. And oddly enough, with the amount of good food you get around Hong Kong GBA region, you probably attract in the food and expand out with your belly as well. So I'll say that. So CY, let me know the GBA, why is it that it seems everyone's excited about it? Do you agree with that as well?
Of course. For sure, yeah, and I think everyone has been saying many good points. This makes me a bit embarrassed. I run out of points, so maybe I can support it by some data. For those of you who don't know about the GBA, it's actually the one of the most affluent areas as in terms of markets. So it's about 5% of the total population in China, but it accounts for about 12% of the GDP. So on average, these people are richer and more affluent, and they're actually more exposed to the international culture and business. Why? Because a lot of them actually grew up watching TVB. Yeah, this population is about 80 million people, about 10 times more than Hong Kong. And they are heavily influenced by Hong Kong's culture because they all speak Cantonese, well, except Shenzhen. But that actually provides a very homogeneous and very friendly environment for Hong Kong companies to go in. And if you're a foreign company, you can definitely partner with either the Hong Kong company here in Hong Kong or a Chinese company already in Hong Kong to get into the GBA. And I just want to, Vivek, it's not a new world, actually. This area is very, very familiar with Hong Kong. So if you are GBA, if you want to get into China, this is definitely a very easy, a very good first step for you to get in.
Well, there you go. Everyone's learning something new. That's a fantastic point as well you want to say. So we have a few minutes left. I want to ask each of you to give a little tip for and some advice to our overseas startups who are actually thinking of launching in Hong Kong. Do you have any tips you want to share with them? We're going to go in order, so I'm going to start with Clara. Any quick advice you'd give overseas startups for Hong Kong expansion?
Okay, the tips are already on stage because Hong Kong DC, you can get to know about Hong Kong. Invest Hong Kong have the landing package. Science Park and Cyberport have the incubation programs, and also we have the investor in here, so that is already a tips on the stage.
You got
so the stepping stone is on there.
Exactly, you got the best combination already over here, right? So CY, do you have anything you want to add to advice for overseas startups?
Yes, our tips is actually on our website. Yeah, we do a startup survey every year. So the top 5 startup categories in Hong Kong is fintech, e-commerce, and you have ICT, and education and training, plus professional services. So if you are in these 5 areas, it's easier for you to succeed in Hong Kong as a market itself. But if you're not, actually, if you're in biotech, you're in other kinds of technologies, actually government provides ample subsidies for you to try, for you to come to Hong Kong and do research, right? So these are the tips.
Fantastic. I mean, you're welcome to come in here. We're ready to support you as well with whatever ideas you have. Let's make it happen here. Fred, could you tell us, any tips and advice you want to give overseas startups that come into Hong Kong?
Yeah, maybe as a VC, I talk about fundraising tips. I would say Hong Kong is one of your stepping stone. We have 7 million population. You have 10 million population, including the mobile workers. But talking about GBA is talking about 80 million. So we should go back. And you can also choose to go to Southeast Asia because you are in the middle of the hub in the international global environment. And secondly, I would say technology is a key because right now we are not just talking about business model disruption. We are not just building an app and you can raise 10 millions of money, but we're talking about deep tech. We're talking about the fundamental. We talk about the professional team. So I would say biotech, ESG tech, climate tech, and also something that with the deep science research, material science, we will be having some advantages in the upcoming decade. And as a VC, we're also bullish about it. We also think that the barrier of the entries and also Hong Kong as an international hub with the international researcher, academia, and also with a lot of research grants, we definitely need to leverage this kind of competitive advantages against other cities' people. So yeah, 2 fundraising tips, hope is helpful.
Well, that's very good. That's very good to know as well. Now, Isaac, lastly, other than telling everyone definitely go visit the Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, it's beautiful over there, what other advice would you give everybody that's coming to Hong Kong?
Yeah, thank you. So I will keep it short. Seek help. Don't do it alone. Because what you can see, we are always very welcome for chat. And we know very well than anyone how hard it is to tap into a new market and how much workload and preparation that is. But don't do it alone. We got all the information you need, got all the support, network, etc. all on hand, ready for you. So come talk to us before you, plan it on your own. That's going to save you a lot of time and effort.
Well, thank you very much. I think we've learned a lot, and I think Hong Kong is definitely the place you want to think about expanding to. It's a lot of benefits for everybody. So one more time, thank our guests for joining us today. We've had CY Liu, Clara Hong, Isaac Tse, and Fred Lee for joining us. Thank you so much for your time. We've got a lot of insight. You please enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the rest of it sitting down and having a good time. Now, again, I want to let you know, as I always say, in Hong Kong, we have a lot of people, as you heard just now, 4 fantastic people representing their in different industries and letting you know how you should expand. And I'll tell you, you just saw 4 people, but remember, in Hong Kong, we have the highest number of skyscrapers in the world, which means every building, every floor has different rooms, and in those rooms, you have many people, intelligent, smart people sitting there discussing different topics. So think about it. When we talk about people, we got a lot of people for you to work with, so some talent is definitely going to fit for you. So don't worry, here you're going to find the talent you're looking for, definitely. Now, speaking of talent, let's move on to our next topic of today, which is internet and metaverse. For this, I've got my friends joining us overseas. From Singapore, we have edtech and Arthret Inc. from United States, as well as from Hong Kong. Please welcome Custonomy and Pawns.ai. Please join me on stage over here. There we go. Come. Good to see you again. Hey. Familiar faces as always. It's fantastic. And our friends overseas who will be joining us real soon from Singapore and United States, we've got edtech and Arthret Inc. Limited. So what we're going to do as well, we're talking about the internet and metaverse, which means definitely first things first, how do people follow you? All right, I want the people to know how do they follow you, where do they go, what's the website, what's the Instagrams, all that stuff. Secondly, tell us a bit about what you do. So we're going to start with Custonomy over here. Can you tell us a bit more of what you do, and also how do we follow you? How do we find you on the internet and in the metaverse as well?
Yes. Good afternoon. My name is Annie, and Custonomy is actually a company that providing Web3 infrastructure service for enterprise. So we develop a bunch of solutions based on the MPC technologies, cryptography technologies, to help enterprise to manage their internal asset, or helping them to do business in the custody service, or even help them to increase the customer experience and adoption rate of their metaverse projects. How people find us, right? To be honest, as a startup, we don't have a lot of resources to do marketing, but luckily, with the help of Hong Kong TDC and with a lot of bunch help from the government as well, so we kind of have a lot more chance to join events. And during the events, people spot us and then can follow us and then learn more about our solutions.
All right, fantastic. So definitely come join different events. You'll see Annie as well at all times, and say hi to her. Don't be shy about it. Let's go to Pawns.ai. Tell us a bit more what you do and how do people follow what you're doing, what the trends are.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelvin, co-founder and CEO of Pawns.ai. We're an AI generative digital collectibles platform for digital brand marketing. And so some of the clients that we have worked with are like HSBC and Alibaba Entrepreneurs Fund and NASDAQ listed companies. And basically, it's a new way of creating brand marketing. So we basically, if you consider this event, right, you see a lot of probably physical gifts, but they don't really generate a lot of promotional value. It creates a lot of physical waste. Now with AI, you can really generate any kind of digital collectible, just limited by your imagination, and it can be a 2D or it could be a 3D, metaverse object that can be used interoperably in the open metaverse. And so it's a new way for people to utilize these NFTs as discount vouchers, loyalty programs, and also access to different communities. And so yeah, we're a platform for that. How do people find us? So we're obviously, Web3 companies. So I mean, there's a different crypto wallet addresses you can connect to us on our website and that kind of thing. But also to via traditional Web2 platforms like Instagram and all that kind of stuff. You can find us on Telegram as well. We also have a lot of different opportunities to exhibit around the world. So we were at Web Summit in Lisbon. We were also in sort of different European showcases as well. And we are going to the CES in Vegas with Hong Kong TDC. So really privileged to be here. And very much thank you to Hong Kong TDC and all the different partners like Hong Kong Science Park. So.
Good stuff, good stuff. Now we're going to take a plane, fly on down to Singapore to our friends with edtech. Could you tell us a bit more what you do, introduce yourself, and how do people follow what you're doing as well?
Thank you so much. My name is Lionel. Thank you, Hong Kong TDC, for this opportunity. So for us at our business call, we strive to seek a high quality applicable solution. What we do is that we address the importance of intellectual property using blockchain into a traditional industry such as art, making it very accessible for both artists, curators alike. So we are one of the first few to adopt this approach in Southeast Asia. Our platform called Bobby will be utilizing blockchain to issue digital certificates of authenticity via smart contracts on works of art. Right, the proof of authenticity will remain valid over time due to the immutability of the encryption. And we also have the digital signature being recorded for each specific artwork. I think in terms of the art world, the Instagram is the most accessible means to find us. But otherwise, do look out for us in art fairs, such as Affordable Art Fair. We are intending to be also available in the Art Basel fairs.
Fantastic. And let me just tell you, affordable art is my favorite type of art that I can afford. Now, moving ahead, we're going to take a plane, fly over to the United States, but thanks to the power of the internet and technology, we don't have to have jet lag for today. Our friend, the Arthret Incorporated, could you tell us a bit more what you do, what it's all about, and how do we find you as well?
Hey everyone, great to be here today. My name is Peter Nelson. I'm with Arthret, and we're a cybersecurity testing platform. So what we allow companies and universities, testing groups, anyone who might want to use the product is to use real malware, real ransomware, real viruses in a safe, contained way to validate that the cybersecurity tools and team you have in place, your firewall, any antivirus tools, are all working as expected. And as we know, that's a big issue that's happening all across the world. With all the technologies we've seen today, everyone needs to make sure that they are protecting their international or their IP property, and especially true with the metaverse and things like that. And so that's what we provide as a way for companies and organizations to test their cybersecurity tools and teams. And the best way to find us is the website, arthret.com. And we've been at a ton of events in the US and in South America and Mexico as well.
Well, good to know as well. So we're going to go straight into the questions. I like to start off with a little bit of fun. Now, I'm going to ask this weird question. I don't know if you'll remember, though. Do you remember what was your first email address you registered on the internet in the olden good old days of when, everyone thought they were really funky with these? Mine, actually, all in was Monkey Island 27. I love playing this game called Monkey Island, and apparently there were 26 other fans that took that address already. So I call myself Monkey Island 27 thinking, oh, look at me, or Mr. Originality. So it was Monkey Island 27 at hotmail.com back then. Does any of you remember what was your first email address you registered? We're going to go with Kelvin over here from Ponce AI. What was the first email address? Do you remember the name?
Yeah, of course. I won't release it, but it's on sort of hotmail.com as well. But I still continue to use it, but as my sort of spam email.
Nice. Okay, that's good. So make sure you spam Monkey Island 28. Don't do it to me. All right. So going to Annie, do you remember the first email address you registered?
The first email address that I registered is definitely protecting my name anyway.
Yeah, right. Just own that first. I'll worry about the spam later on, right? Okay, let's fly over to Singapore for edtech. Could you tell us, do you remember that first email address you registered, what it was?
Yeah, I think it was my surname, otsuka85 at msn.com, if I'm not wrong.
Wow, MSN, my goodness, that was a while ago. Okay, so of course, flying over to Arthret Incorporated. Peter, do you remember what was your first email address?
it was something like yours with something I thought was real clever when I was a kid, and then at Hotmail or Yahoo, something like that, maybe even AOL.
Yeah, it's always one of those. Like back then, we were like, "Look at this genius! Email me at my genius email." And now we're just like, I just close the account. Somebody close the account, right? All right, let's get back to the serious stuff of what you're doing over here. Can you tell me? I'm really curious about this industry. I mean, people are talking about it all the time. You know, the metaverse is like especially with COVID, it became the word that everyone's like, "Oh, the metaverse! We got to get on the metaverse, right?" What is basically the key trends in your industry? You know what? We're gonna fly over to Singapore. I want to ask you, what is the key trend that you're noticing in this industry that we definitely want the general public to know about?
I think first and foremost, whenever we talk about blockchain technology, the first thing that everybody comes to mind is the whole NFT, right? The whole Bored Ape Yacht Club, etc. But I think what the trends that we are looking at is that people are beginning to understand that blockchain technology is more than that, right? There is a lot of application in different industries. Specifically for mine in the art industry, people are starting to become a bit more warmer into how can they use blockchain to certify their own works, for example. This accessibility to this technology is not something made available over the past couple of years. Yes, blockchain has been around for quite some time, but the application to ensure that the intellectual property can be secured on a decentralized platform, that's something that people is becoming a lot more worked about, and they want to find out more.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Let's go to the U.S. over there. What is the basically the trend that you're working on? Could you share with us as well? What are you noticing in the
the big trend that we're seeing, because we're in the security space, is companies becoming much more proactive in their security. Before, it was always being very defensive, with more defenses, more kind of wall you can put up. And now people are being more evaluative of their products. They want to see what's working, what's not. And through really a model called zero trust, where you never trust your who you're connecting to, and you're always validating.
Okay. So I think that's also one thing, is that obviously every internet user at some point has worried of like, oh, is this safe? Can I do this as well? So I think that's an issue that will never go. We just got to keep building some sort of trust system that we can rely on as well. Let's come back to Hong Kong over here. You know what, Annie, tell me a bit more. You know, what is that the key trends in the industry that you've noticed over the last few years?
Well, to be honest, the trend has changed a lot during these 2 or 3 months. I still remember 2 months ago when I'm in Singapore, the trend is still around NFT, metaverse, very exciting about it. But then recently, because of the FTX incident, then a lot of people start to worry about what is the asset gone, right? So a lot of people coming over here and then concerned about what is hot wallet, what is cold wallet, what is custodial wallet and non-custodial wallet. So a lot of this have changed suddenly, but actually, this is quite good for our company, because what we are addressing is all this issue. So no matter which kind of trend, actually, we still have solutions to provide for people.
Okay. All right. So, Calvin, tell us a bit more about the trend that is in the industry that you want to share with us?
Yeah, so for us, it's more about combining the power of generative AI and also Web3. So for generative AI, you may have heard of stuff like Stable Diffusion, where you can generate, photorealistic images on demand, pretty much. But there's also like a 3D version of that, and we're experimenting with 3D objects being made on demand, and they can be utilized in the open metaverse, right? So that is very exciting, and I'm very bullish on Web3 in general. So I would define it as the internet with digital ownership. So currently, the internet that we have actually doesn't have any digital ownership, and so when some of our assets are actually on chain, it can prove your provenance, and it can empower all sorts of smart contracts capability as well. So we're very bullish on sort of the generative AI side and combining it with Web3 digital assets. And metaverse, I think, is a little bit of a separate concept. So it's basically like immersive internet, so to speak, but it doesn't have to be Web3. But I'm still quite bullish on the idea that the internet will be more immersive, and so VR could be a big thing going forward as well. But probably it takes more time for people to get into it with less friction.
Okay, I mean, well, speaking of ownership, I think a lot of times when we post stuff on the internet, we're just like, whatever, doesn't really matter. But I tell you one thing I do own is monkeyisland27@hotmail.com. So if you want that, email me. I'll talk about that. Okay, let's go on to the fun question as well now. Okay. COVID has given us a lot of new habits, a lot of new things that we're doing. Hand sanitizer is one of those things that we've all got, especially in Hong Kong. I've got hand sanitizer on my table, in my drawer, in my cupboard, in my pants, wherever I go. However, situation is this. You see the hand sanitizer machine on the wall, and there's the automatic ones where you put your hand under it and you get the sanitizer coming out. Problem is this. You put your hand under the machine. People are lining up behind you. You hear the quick sound, but nothing comes out. All right? Do you A, pretend and just be like, oh yeah, so clean, so clean? Do you do that? Or do you go B and tell everyone, hey, it's empty, we can all leave now, be honest about it? Or do you do C, is make a new startup to solve the problem of hand sanitizer machines running out of sanitizer but still making the quick sound? What do you do, all right? Do you fake it? Do you tell the world? Or do you come up with a new solution to stop quick without the sanitizer? All right, so we're going to go to Kelvin, have a little think. Which is the option? A is the fake it, B is the honest, tell the world about it, and C is to solve this problem so it never happens again. What would be your go-to solution? What would you choose?
Well, in this case, I would actually smack the machine first, and then I would be like, tell everyone about it, so it would probably be B. And then if I care about the problem enough that I want to help solve it, like dedicate my life to it, then sure.
Okay, so I understand. So first of all, you're going to try one more time, give it a chance.
Just smack it.
Just smack it, be like, you machine, I know you have no feelings, but feel this, bang,
exactly.
like that. I like that, that's good. Annie, what about you? How would you solve this? What would you do?
Well, I would tell people that they don't have sanitizer anymore, and then I would take out my one and I use it.
Oh, look at that. Well, okay, I like that.
Always well prepared.
Nice. You're like, you know what? I'm a good person. Everyone's health is important to me. That's good. Let's fly over to Peter. Peter in the States, what is your solution for this problem?
Oh, we've got to install the piping for the hand sanitizer so it's unlimited.
Oh, okay, look at that. But okay, so you're going to install this and get it done. Got it. Okay. We're going to fly over to Singapore. Lionel, how would you solve this one?
Honestly speaking, I think I would just ask them to migrate onto the spray version instead of using something on the wall, so you can bring it everywhere.
Ah, okay. You would actually go to the place that holds this and say, look, let me give you the solution. This is a better way. Here's the proposal. This is the amount of it. Come talk to me about this. Okay, so we're basically problem solvers, all right? Except for some people who like to smack stuff first for solving it. I'll take that. I would do the same thing. I would fake it and then come back another day when no one's there and be like, really? Just what's wrong with this machine, right? I would come back when no one's looking at me. Okay, let's go back to the proper questions again. So I want to get back to this. It's always about like why you even went in this. I know this is a really hot and trending kind of industry, talking about the internet, metaverse, and all the like Web 3.0. It's a topic people talk about. And let's be very honest, a lot of people are unsure what exactly it is. They've just heard of it. They'll throw it out in a cocktail conversation. Oh yeah, my web is 4.0, They'll say stuff like that. But what got you attracted to even join us and go into this industry? I'm going to go, Peter, in the States. Like, what got you involved? Why did you get into this? What got you interested?
Yeah, one of my friends actually reached out and said, hey, I've got this product. It's ready to go. We built the MVP, the beta, and let's go. And I said, I'm new to the security world. Let's go. This is exciting. So I've always wanted to learn about it.
So it's more the exciting factor. You said, dive head in first, faith, whatever happens, happens. Okay, that's good. So the excitement factor, fair enough. Something that you're not sure about is always more fun because you're like, ooh, something new is going to happen today. Let's go over to edtech over there in Singapore. What got you into this industry? Why did you go in here?
Actually, it's more of a personal story. My grandmother who passed on, she was not able to pass on her recipe. So that kind of like annoyed me a little bit. Is there a way to kind of like preserve this legacy somewhere that is available to everyone? So this is where we thought perhaps we can do something similar on the decentralized platform. So yeah, we had the problem statement, we found a solution to it, and then now we want to make this available to all who has the similar issues with legacies.
Do you remember, can you share what the rest, like, was it a muffin? Was it a cookie? Was it a recipe to take over the world? Do you remember what it was?
It was actually a popier. It's like the spring rolls, but whenever different members of the family give it a try on that recipe, it just tastes different. Sometimes my uncle will put more meat. My family, we put more vegetables in it. So yeah, it's difficult to kind of like preserve that sort of recipe without the actual matriarch doing it.
Well, one solution you can consider doing is try spring rolls every single restaurant you come across. Someone who tastes similar, you're like, what's your recipe? I'll buy it off you. I need this one right now. Let's come back to Hong Kong over here. So Annie, could you tell us, like, why did you even get into the industry? What got you interested in it?
Because actually all our co-founders are victims of losing the asset 10 years ago. So we all have this bad experience, right? No matter whether we put our money in the exchange or we have our own wallet, we have came across different kind of incidents, you know, and the result is losing the asset. So we all four of our co-founders actually think, how can it be tolerate this to happen again and again, right? If we want these things to go to mainstream, it shouldn't be like that. So we are very eager to find the solutions to help ourselves as well as to help the ecosystem. So that's why we try to study cryptography, because crypto is something that is based on cryptography, right? So this is the main root of the problems, and that's why we try to use the technology solutions to find a way to help the enterprises to solve all these safety, security issues. And we successfully developed the multi-tier MPC technologies, which can definitely help the enterprise to address the asset security issues.
Okay, good. What about you? What about you, Kevin?
Yeah, so actually two main reasons. So for my master's dissertation at the LSE, I actually worked on blockchain back in 2015. So I really believed in the decentralized sort of trustless system and the internet of value. So that was what attracted me to blockchain at the beginning. But I was also a musician back then when I was a university student. And as a creator, it's pretty hard to, you know, make money and all that kind of stuff. And so I believe this sort of Web3 paradigm actually can empower a lot of creators, can, you know, tap into the resale royalty with smart contracts, but also having the provenance proved, you know, on the blockchain. So, and now with AI, actually, you know, our AI can learn some of our artists' art style, and every NFT that is minted in their style, they can have a passive income from it as well. And so this is a new income stream for creators all around the world. And yeah. I'm very bullish on sort of combining cutting-edge technology to sort of what people are passionate about. So.
Okay, so actually, as you can see so far, all four of them, first of all, either have personal things that are involved in it. You know, something happened to you, therefore you want to get to know how this actually works and how can I solve this and avoid people from having the same problem, or it just sounds exciting. It's just a cool thing I just want to get into. All right, speaking of exciting, let's go back to the silly questions. Okay, all right, so this is it. Your ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, all right? They really broke your heart, you're really upset, and you have an opportunity to take revenge on them. Which one do you do? Which one do you do first, actually? You might do all of them, but which one do you first? Do you, A, basically sign their email up to all the spam newsletters you can think of, okay? Or do you, B, disable their antivirus software, and they don't realize it's disabled, so they can surf the internet, do everything, and not realize how much advice they're getting? Or C, do you set their mobile phone to auto-forward all calls to you? All right? So which one do you sign them up to all the random newsletters? Do you disable their antivirus so you hope that somehow you'll surf some wrong website for some wrong reason? Or do you go C, which is basically auto-forward all their calls, so when their lover calls, you can be like, who is this? I know who you are. What would you choose to do? So let's go. Let's fly over to Singapore. What would you choose, A, B, or C? Which one's your choice of revenge?
Actually, I'll do none of the above. What I'll do, I'll certify that we've broken up at that year and make it available to everyone.
oh, that's another level. That's another level. Let's go over to the U.S. Peter. What would you choose to do?
Oh, I can't be that mean. I would just do the first one. They'll get a lot of bad emails, but nothing, no viruses.
Yeah,
can't
true.
do that.
A firewall can solve that already. Anti-spam filter done and done. Okay, Kelvin, what would you do? How would you take revenge on this one?
I actually get along well with my ex-girlfriend, so you know I believe in sort of reciprocity, so I won't take any revenge. So because an eye for an eye makes the world go blind.
Oh, Kelvin, look at this! Look at this nice person. I have so much to learn from you because I did all three of them. All right, okay. Let's go to Annie. What would you choose? Okay, let's pretend an eye for an eye does not make the world the blinder place. What would you choose to do?
Well, I think I would just sign him up to a lot of the spam email.
Yeah, right. I think that's a lot more fun. If less guilt, very effective as well, right? Okay, fair enough. So last thing we have around 1 minute, I would like to ask all of you to encourage the general public or anybody that's interested in this kind of technology, but they don't really know what's the reason they should get involved. Why should they learn more about it? What's it important to them? What's their benefit? Okay, so let's start with Annie. Why should people know about basically internet, metaverse, all that, the Web 3.0? Why should they even care anymore? Like, give us one reason why, other than getting scammed.
This is the future of the, no matter it's the fintech or even in other industry. So it will, from my point of view, it will become one of your basic things in your daily life in the future. So you must start to learn something about it. You can imagine that now, long time ago, when your grandma and grandfather, they won't say, I don't want to use mobile phone, but look at now. every elderly must have a mobile phone almost when they just want to go to the wet market to buy things. So think about that. This will be something that everybody have to know it. So start to learn it today. And if you don't know, subscribe our YouTube channel and you will know more.
Fantastic. Kelvin, what's the reason why we should get involved in this? Is there anything you can convince us?
Yeah, I think, ignore all the hype and just look at the facts. Why are the big brands getting into Web3 and why is still a lot of smart people building stuff in Web3 even amongst all the crypto winter and the market downturn and everything? I think it's mostly because of digital ownership and also being able to take control of your data, have a more egalitarian internet where you can have a piece of what how much time you spend on the internet, like you can get some rewards from it. And so it's a sense of ownership, but at the same time having a better incentive mechanism.
Fantastic. So what about Peter over there? What reason would you want to convince everybody they should get involved in this?
On our end in the security world, it's because it has a real effect on day-to-day life. When schools get hacked, when hospitals get hacked, it can actually impact people's parents, family, and it's not just on the internet. It has real life impacts. So the more you know, you can help everybody out with it.
Very true. I mean, it's something that you might think is no, but it won't hit me, but it's just like anything in life that when it hits you, you're like, oh, I should have seen this coming. So let's go over to Lionel in edtech over there. What's the reason why we should really get more involved in this?
I think for every technology, it's important that we all know what this is all about. For me, intellectual property is very, very vital for all form of industries. For the artists, I would believe that it's important to get yourself more involved in the technologies that seems to be viable to their discipline, but it is more than important to find out more about what it really means to you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I hope we've convinced everybody. And at the same time, this is a place you want to get involved and learn more about the technology and expand in Hong Kong as well. You're good examples as well. So everybody, thank you again one more time. Thank you to our guests for joining us and sharing with us as well. Please enjoy the rest of the day. One more hand for them as well. Thanks so much for our friends as well from Singapore and US joining us as well. All right, so thank you so much for your time. Please be seated and enjoy the rest of this afternoon. So having said that, again, time for a little fun fact of Hong Kong. Now, I know, we're still in the Web 2.0 world with Instagram and stuff, but let's be honest, everybody loves an Instagram post that has 1,000, 1 million, 1 billion likes, right? So I'll teach This is okay. Hey, we're back, everybody. That was a test. Are you paying attention? You were, weren't you, right? That's right. So I'll tell you one thing. For everybody over here who loves taking a selfie, taking a photo, and posting it online and hoping the world loves it, one little fun fact about Hong Kong is that we have more Rolls Royces per person than any other city in the world. That means you can take a picture with not just one, maybe 2 or even 3 Rolls Royces, tag yourself, and let people decide which one is yours. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I just took a picture with my Rolls Royce. So what's the big deal? So that's one thing you can do in Hong Kong. Making it an adventure. When you come here, look around. See how many fancy cars you will see, because everybody likes to feel good, look good, and enjoy life as well. Having said that, let's move on to our next group as well, which is going to be talking about Smart City. For this one, we have our friends joining us from overseas. From Italy, we've got Contents.com. From Japan, Closer Incorporated. And from Turkey, MobiCube. From Hong Kong, please welcome Flo. Come out, join us. Give a round of applause over here. Thank you. All right, let's get this started, everybody. We're talking about a smart city, and I kind of feel smart city involves not just technology, but the people and the way we live our lives as well. So tell me a bit more about what you do as well, and tell us about, you have around 1 minute to 2 minutes, what you do, who you are, why is your city smarter than everybody else?
Sure. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Eric, and my company is called Flow. So it's a platform for high-end hotel and co-working space booking by flexible duration. So we have 2 missions here. So one is we want to make high-end hotel space and co-working space accessible to as many people as possible, especially the local community. And the second one is we want to make urban travel as flexible, as spontaneous as it can be. Yeah, that's what we can do.
That's what you do. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let's fly on over to Italy, Contents.com. Could you tell us what it is you do? Introduce yourself to the rest of the world, please.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Camilla Coretti. I'm a pre-sales manager at Contents.com. So what we do is AI content generation, content creation. So we have a SaaS platform that can support any type of business through the whole content workflow. So from ideation to creation up to transformation of text, audio. So our generative AI platform is powered by automatic content creation tools that can allow customers to identify topics, create content according to their needs, and finally localize it in different languages to reach new users. So basically space.
I think you touched upon a very important point about localizing stuff. I mean, when you travel around the world, sometimes you're trying to translate everything, but if things can be more local, you can understand it, you can connect with the people over there and it makes life just so much better as well. Now let's move on, fly over to Japan, Closer Incorporated. Could you just share with us what you do, who you are? Let us get to know you, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Sugiya. I'm co-founder and CFO at Closer Japan. We're really excited to join you guys today. And it's an honor to be nominated with so many promising startups. So we are an AI robotics company focused on making life easier for manufacturers, food manufacturers in particular, where automation is actually lagging behind other industries like auto and semiconductors. So right now we are working a lot of proof of concepts and testing pilots with a lot of Japanese companies, but we hope to cross the sea and be able to venture out. Thank you very much for having us.
Fantastic. And our friends over in Turkey, Mobiku, could you tell us a bit more about yourself? Introduce yourself. I want to get to know you as well.
Hello, everyone. Such a great event, by the way. I'm Selçuk, co-founder of the Mobiku. And Mobiku making the delivery smarter and digital. Basically, we are a box company and next generation last mile delivery box company, optimize and upgrade the deliveries. And for sure, our goal is to contribute to a better world and enable digitization of the packaging in the last mile delivery with sustainable, innovative, and smart solutions. We operate in the cold chain, food delivery, parcel, and the cargo delivery for now, and all about the box because we are trying to introduce a new model like a box as a service, and we are trying to make everything connected by tracing the product, not vehicle, not courier, or not other type of the equipments. So thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so when we talk about startups and people doing different things to help the world make a better place, so a lot of times people look at startups and kind of idolize them and think, oh, you know, that's different. They're, you know, intelligent. They're another level. I could never do that. But I always feel that when you look up to somebody and you kind of respect them and say, I want to do that one day, and one day you might actually do better than them, that usually helps having a goal. Which I want to ask is, the first question is, who are your idols? I mean, like for me, my idols as a comedian were people like Jerry Seinfeld, and I love people like Bill Burr because they just talk about life. And when they talk about life and make you laugh, I think that's good enough for me, and I want to do that as well. So have a think about, you know, who are the idols that when you were younger, when you first began, you thought, oh, you know, it'd be so cool if I could do that, and now you're maybe doing it already. So have a little thing. I'm going to go fly back to Turkey real quickly as well. Let me ask you this. Who is your idol, especially in the world of startups as well? Who is your idol that you admired?
Well, and under changing circumstances, also the idols are changing to me because each type of challenge brings another type of solution. That's why your idol could be today someone else, but tomorrow someone else too. And that's also valid for me for now. And taking into account there are a lot of successful startups who are leading really great challenges, and we are taking care about how they are doing and how do they approach. And basically, I would like to give the short reply as that.
Fair enough. I mean, like sometimes your peers are your idols because it's always good to have people around you that make you become better version of yourself. I always say that even like as an MC, you know, you watch other shows, you're like, oh, that's a really good MC over there. How can I be just as good as him or her? What can I learn from them as well? So let's fly over to Japan as well. I want to get to know, you know, who is your idol? Who really made you go one day say, oh, that person has inspired me?
You know, that's a great question. I never really took it. I think I took cue from a lot of different people. And as Mobik mentioned, I think you tend to you know, get inspired by different people. But I think as early as when I was in high school, I would look at, you know, the Googles when it was in the infant stage. You would look at the Yahoos. You would look at Apple. You know, especially before Steve Jobs came back. You know, those companies really, you know, took over and really made an impact in the world within, you know, 10, 20, 30 years where it's never been, you know, I mean, it's something that hasn't been done before. But with that being said, the the world can change a lot quicker, and how quickly, as you mentioned with the Instagram, how people can go from 0 users to 10 billion over in just a matter of years. So we hope to make an impact in our own way, and go with that.
It's very true. I mean, very often when you have something that you idolize, or basically kind of admire and respect, you use them as a framework to kind of say, well, that's possible, so why is my idea not going to happen? I mean, if that can happen, I'm sure I can make it happen somehow. So let's fly over to Italy as well. So tell me, when you were growing up, or even when you started up in what you're doing as well, were there someone or something that you admired? Were there mentors that you really respected? Could you share with us any idols that you had?
Well, I will be really fast and super honest. Our idols, my idols, is ourself. As you said, like an idol is someone that you respect and you believe in. And yeah, that's why this is my answer.
Very true, very true. I mean, it definitely has some sort of impact as well. Let's move on to Eric as well. What about you? Any particular idols? Do not say me. Do not say me, right? But no, seriously, any idols that inspired you?
Oh, I think my all-time idol has always been Bruce Lee, interestingly. Because obviously it sounds quite irrelevant because he was a movie star, he was a kung fu star, but I think the mentality that he had, the way that he kind of put the philosophy into his kung fu and then kind of translated into movie pictures, that's amazing. The way that he can connect a lot of different stuff, seemingly not irrelevant, but turns out to be a very, very valuable thing to the audience or to people who practice kung fu, right? The mentality that he has is amazing. Yeah, I think that could definitely be borrowed to people who do business. Yeah, so that's really my idol.
No, me too, actually. When I was growing up, I remember I had seen one of his movies, and I liked how he moved and everything, breaking doors down. I actually tried that at home. I tried to break my door down, but I was way too small. It didn't work out. So I was like, I'll work out a bit more for that one as well, right? Now, I want to get to know this a bit more, that, everybody's doing something different in the industry, trying to make, it towards, of course, smart city. But what have you done that you feel has definitely revolutionized and changed the game as well? Eric, has anything that you've done that you want to tell everyone where, things weren't the same anymore once you introduced that as well in the industry? Can you share with us as well? Anything that what you've done that you're definitely proud of, or you feel like this has had an impact? I feel this one is the one people will remember us for.
Well, that's you got me here, but
right, it's a little bit like, oh, that's a big one. Okay, well, let's not go so far. I mean, I'm getting a bit too exaggerated, like, oh, I'm changing the world and everything. But is there anything one that you feel that's the one that definitely people will be talking about if they had to choose one thing that you've done so far?
Yeah, I don't know, but obviously there are a lot of things that have been changing the world all the time. But one classic one would be really because I'm a fan of airplanes and all the air fighters and I've always been amazed by how the brothers who came up with the first plane,
yeah.
Right? So that completely changed the world. How we commute, how we travel. It's not really, we don't really stick with the ground, but we can be up in the air like birds, right? So that's really what I think has completely changed the world in a very different way. Yeah.
Very true. I mean, it's definitely these things that you see. But I'll reverse it though. I'm asking what you're doing as well is that in your field, what you've done as well. Do you feel that you've contributed to changing the world in any way? And is there anything you can share with us that you have done that you feel like, we've kind of shifted a bit more. We've disrupted. We've changed a bit. What about yourself?
Yeah. Sure. So yeah, because we do hotel booking, but actually in a quite complete different way because we make high-end hotels bookable by flexible duration. It could be as short as 2 hours, or it could be 12 hours. So we are trying to accommodate as many people as possible who might have different schedule traveling. You check out early in the morning, but your flight is at night. So in that way, usually where will you go? You probably stay at the lobby of the hotel, or you go early to the lounge of the airport, or you just go to the Starbucks, right? But that's not ideal for some people because, especially for business people who actually always have meetings on the go, they want a quiet place. So that's where we actually help. So that's I would say what we have been changing the way people travel. We are changing the way people use hotels. So I would say that's one of the things that we're doing.
That's the impactful thing as well. Yeah, good enough. Let's go to Japan over there. What's that thing that you're doing that you feel that has definitely changed, at least the industry that you're in, has the biggest impact so far? Uh-oh. So, all right, no worries. We'll go over. We'll zoom over. I'm going to get my transit flight, go straight to Italy as well. So, what is the thing that you've done in your industry that you feel that this has made the impact that you want the world to know as well?
So, as we said, we do content creation, AI content creation. So for us, to create the piece of content that a customer needs, you understand that companies will have to rely on contents.com. And that's what is revolutionary. So our goal is to be like super important as, like, for example, cloud or smartphone are right now. So something that you cannot live without.
So I would say that it's your ability to basically kind of using AI to better understand the client and then generate the content that's close enough where they kind of feel that represented me properly. So that's what you would say, right?
Yeah, thanks to the data set that we have and that we use, for our customer, we are also able to log them in and do whatever they need with the data set that we'll build for them.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you one thing. Christmas dinner is coming really soon, and sometimes when you have your family over, they want to talk, and sometimes you have to keep talking to them. I need some definite content creation when I'm talking to my uncles about what I do as well, so I'll definitely look at that as well. Let's go back to Japan. I see you're back with us as well. I was asking that, is there anything that you've done that you feel has made a real impact or kind of changed the industry you're in around that you're most proud of that you can share with us as well?
Yeah, thank you very much, and apologize, I had some internet difficulties. Obviously, we're in the middle of our journey. One of the things we want to do is we want to change from a purely CAPEX model, especially selling robots and hardware, to more of a SaaS model, as well as making something that's very compatible and going from a tailor-made to more of a built-in system and package, where not many companies have succeeded, and especially in selling robotics to manufacturers.
Okay, so basically there you go. You're changing the way you're doing that as well. So let's go to Mobiku as well in Turkey. Is there one thing that you're the proudest of that you've done and that has kind of changed your industry or changed the world in a way that you want the world to know as well?
Yeah, sure. And there is a lot of waste management system, and all the companies are struggling with that. And all the companies are now having net zero targets for 2030 or 2050, and sustainability is becoming the major impact. That's the point we took care about. And we produce our smart boxes with IoT-enabled devices. And these smart boxes are fully out of recyclable material and contribute to waste management. That means no need to have additional cardboard packaging to be used in the deliveries or plastic packagings. We definitely eliminate all these additional equipments or packaging types. And beside that, we connect the boxes to each other. That means each type of the transportation is now visible, and real-time monitoring is enabled to give a background of the delivery to the service companies and the end user. But besides that, while you are doing this, you should be, of course, cost optimized. And we provide 30% cost reduction to the companies. That's why companies are now paying more attention to make the deliveries digital, smarter, and also using sustainable packaging system. And that's what we did.
Very true. I think like the real-time updates in this world has become so phenomenally important. I mean, if you told me my package is on the way, but I'll update you 5 minutes later, I can't do it. I need it right now. Where is it right now? So I think that's something people will appreciate the most. All right, let's go into the Sully fun question time, all right? So this is it. You're tired after a whole day, but you have a big presentation you have to finish preparing for tomorrow morning, all right? You're exhausted now. You only want to go to sleep, but you are now told you have this special pill that has a power to wake you up, but it'll wake you up until tomorrow morning, that you can't sleep tonight, right? You're awake for the whole thing, but you won't be able to sleep tonight. Do you take the pill so you have the power to do that presentation and prepare, or do you somehow use your willpower to stay awake all night, or stay awake as long as you need to prepare for that presentation, and then go to sleep and wake up? So in other words, you either choose A, which is I have a super pill that I eat it now and I'll feel super awake for the next 4 hours. I can do the presentation, but I won't be able to sleep for the whole night. and I will wait, and I'll be awake till tomorrow for the presentation. That's option A. Option B is you're so tired now, you just want to sleep, but somehow you trust that your willpower will somehow power through the night, and I'll get the presentation done, go to sleep and wake up, and I won't fall asleep while making the presentation. How much do you trust your own ability to stay awake versus the superpower of a pill? Let's fly over to, you know what, let's stay in Hong Kong. I'm going to throw it to you over here. What would you do? Would you go with the pill solution, but you know, no sleep the whole night and go to the presentation, or do you trust your gut and say, I will somehow power through it? Which way do you go?
Well, it depends on what I will have what I have to do in the afternoon the next day, right? If it's an important party, I probably wouldn't take the pill because I want to leave some energy for that party. But I mean, for me, I did bump into these kind of scenarios in the past, and I will probably take the second solution because I'm quite. Yeah, I think I will be able to wake myself up on time, even though I just take 2 or 3 hours of sleep. But that's usual for me, so I'm okay with that.
So you trust your ability. You're like, I trust myself. I will somehow power through this, right? Good enough. Let's fly over to Italy. Amelia, what would you choose? Would you choose the pill to help you stay awake, but you can't sleep tonight? Or do you say, I will somehow do it with my own willpower?
Yeah, I think I'll choose B as well. I believe in power nap, so yeah. Also because, I don't know, pills sounds like, I don't know, like...
yeah, it's a bit negative, right?
It's weird.
Yeah, okay, let's remember. If you get a super powerful massage, that will wake you up. No. Okay, so let's go to Mobiku in Turkey. What would you go with? Would you go with the pill solution, or would you go with somehow I will figure it out myself?
Well, so simple. Where do you sell it and how much? Just let me know.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, good enough. I'll take that. So finally going over to Closer Incorporated in Japan, what's your solution, a pill or yourself?
I think we would just grind it out. That's probably a lot of startups founders will do. They just find a way. And, I think there's no magic potion or bullet, or in this case, a pill that will do it. I think you just have to go out and it is what it is and do what you need to do.
Absolutely true. I think that's one thing you will find recurring in all startups is that they somehow trust themselves. They know it's difficult, but they will say it's not the quick fix, it's not the quick solution. There's always a price you pay for as well. So that's one thing I've noticed in the trends of startups is that somehow you build enough trust in yourself and say, I will somehow figure it out, whatever it takes, because I have a passion for this and I'll make it happen. All right, let's come back to the more serious question over here. Real quick again, as I always said, is that I want to understand one more thing is that the biggest challenge you had, everyone faces it. I'm always curious because I think nobody is successful without a challenge. Can you share with us that one challenge you want to, that all the new startups know about, that even you went through as well, so don't fear about it? Can I start with Mobiku over here in Turkey? What's that one challenge you want to share with us and let us know, hey, I went through it, you're going to go through it, it's normal?
Well, actually, it's a never-ending story because once you say we accomplished this task and we overcome this, the biggest challenge we ever had, but the next day you see that is the biggest coming as well. But I can mention that we had to make our product ready for a customer just before the day of the summit or the event. The product was fall down and unfortunately it has a big damage. And we have to reproduce a new prototype to launch that one. And we did it just in one day with the whole team without any sleep. And that was a great success story from my point of view. But as I mentioned, the challenges, when you say that was the biggest and next day you will have another one for sure.
For sure. I mean, it's a daily occurrence. You shouldn't be surprised by the challenge. But as you showed us, is that, getting through the challenge is more satisfying than avoiding as well. So let's fly over to Italy as well. What was that one challenge you want to share with us that you overcame or you faced and you want to let people know it's okay, it's going to happen to all of us?
Well, I think in general, the biggest challenge for us is speed, time to market, and in general, attracting talents as well. So that's, I think, the biggest challenge.
Yeah, getting into the market as well. So over to Japan as well. Is that one quick challenge you want to share with us that you went through and you're proud of overcoming?
First step, but once you do it, it makes it's not as hard. Obviously, it is hard to continue, but I think when you first start, you're really scared and there's so much uncertainty. But a lot of things you can't control anyhow, just like in life. So. If you really want to go for it, I think it's just good to just start. But that was the biggest, hardest part, aside from, always having a time crunch, cash crunch, resource crunch.
Always 25 hours worth of work in 24-hour days on a daily basis as well. Eric, what about you? Is there one challenge you want to share with us that you've dealt with and you're proud of saying, hey, it's okay?
Yeah, sure. So if it's about my business, then I think one of the challenges is because we are running a marketplace, right? So we have two sides of customers. One is the demand side, which is the end users, and the other side is the hotels and co-working space operators, right? So in the beginning, it was like just as a problem of chicken and egg, right? Whether you have supplies first, you have hotels first, or you have enough number of users first. Because if you onboard some hotels and if you don't have the demand, then the hotels will get off board, right? So that was actually quite a hard challenge. Especially we are trying to put an innovative model into the traditional hotel industry, right? So that was what we've been through. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So everyone, as you can see, with every startup, no matter which industry, they've got challenges. It's a normal thing. But again, coming back to Hong Kong, this is the place. We get challenges all the time, but somehow there's a solution next to you. And being in a place with so many people that are facing challenges on a daily basis, we're going to somehow work together and make it work together, right? So, all right, finally, one final fun, silly question as well. All right, you're at a restaurant, you're eating sushi. This is the question. Do you use your hands to eat sushi, chopsticks to eat sushi, or spoon and fork and knife to eat sushi? All right? This is the question. It doesn't matter, you're not culturally correct. What would you go with? Hand, chopsticks, or fork and knife for sushi, okay? Again, it's not a matter of which is correct. It's a matter of what do you think you would go with. If you were eating alone, no one's looking at you, what would you do? How would you eat your sushi? All right, I can tell you now, I clearly will eat with my hands because I have no time for chopsticks. And I'm like, I want it in my mouth. I'm hungry right now. Give it to me right now, okay? So, Eric, what is it? Hands, chopsticks, or fork and knife?
Well, before COVID, I used hands. At the peak of the COVID, I used chopsticks, and now I use hands again.
There we go. So it's a trend is coming back in full circle. What about, let's go over to Amelia in Italy. What would you do? Hands, chopsticks, or fork and knife?
Hands as well.
Yeah, it just feels different, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Turkey as well. What would you do?
I love using the chopsticks. It's difficult, but it's really good to try.
All right, finally. And of course, Japan. What's it going to be?
Hands.
Oh, okay. There you go. We have the correct answer over there as well. So thank you again for sharing with us as well. This was all about a smart city. One more time, everybody, give a round of applause to our friends overseas and as well, Eric from Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Please be seated and enjoy the rest of this afternoon. Now, again, letting you know that we're talking about smart cities, and one thing I'm proud to say here in Hong Kong is that we're all smart people. The reason why I say that is because the language that's official in Hong Kong is both English and Cantonese, which is why a lot of us do speak both of it. So don't be shy. Come on over, say hello. We'll probably understand what you're talking about because it's an official language. It's okay to speak English. Or you know what? Learn Cantonese. It's a fantastic language as well. Having said all that, everybody, thank you so much. This is the end of the event. And on behalf of HKTDC, I would like to thank our global partners and supporting organizations for the great support and for making the inaugural Startup Express International a more exciting program so as to facilitate the exchange between global and Hong Kong startups. Now, if you would like to watch the marvelous discussions we had today once again, or you have missed any part of it, do not worry because the replay will be available on TDC's YouTube channel very soon. And one last thing I want to share with you, a fun tip about Hong Kong. A fun fact is Hong Kong has one of the highest numbers of cafes per capita. And I know you've been watching me for 2 hours. You're probably hungry. So if you were in Hong Kong, we would definitely feed you and make you smile as well. Having said that, thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next year. Have a good afternoon. Thanks so much. Take it easy. Enjoy.